the number of hotel rooms that you have in New York is more than the number of rooms in hotels in India, across India, in the organized industry. And now as people are getting more and more brand conscious, that demand is increasing by the day. So it's just that we didn't even have those rooms. That's why hospitality is going to boom. But otherwise, it will economy. There will be an effect of economy on the overall industry. It's not that it won't be there.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
My question is, as being an MBA marketing student, it's very easy to get a job for calling and for direct marketing, but it's very tough to get into PR and advertising. For that, what qualities we have, basically, as you are consultant, you have much idea about that?
One is that what is wrong with a job which involves direct sales. I don't know that. As long as you are not talking about call center, if there's any other job in marketing, that's how I know most of the people started in sales. Okay. Advertising as an industry, as far as advertising as an industry is considered, they don't go with qualifications. Most of the people that I know in advertising, they have diverse backgrounds. You've got to reach out to them. They hardly have any campus placement and stuff like that happening. So if you have a let's say creative bent and you can work 24/7. Yes, that's a advertising industry. Again, it looks great on paper, but I know people who are there. They work 24/7. They live out of the offices. They hardly have a life out of offices. वो दिखती है, वो गोवा में पार्टी वार्टी होती है, वो भी ऑफिस के साथ ही करनी पड़ती है. But these are those are the realities, and I don't see anything wrong with direct marketing. If you spend 3-4 years in direct marketing, I'm telling you, nobody can stop you to really grow well in marketing. हिंदुस्तान लीवर में पता है जो लोग IIM के पास आउट होते हैं ना, और रैंक होल्डर चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स, ठीक है, these are the two people that they take in their MBA in their management program. They spend their first year and a half living out of trucks and going to small villages, sitting with those people and figuring out कि डव कितने का बिक रहा है, ये कितने का बिक रहा है, और हमारे साबुन बेचो और हमारी सॉस बेचो. That is where all these people spend their first year and a half. You go to Pepsi, एक साल पहले आपको ट्रक में घुमाते हैं as a management graduate who's being paid 9 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs salary. ट्रक में तुम पूरा इंडिया घूमते हो literally. You go to all those locations, so don't look at those jobs as small jobs.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Ankit Sharma.
Yeah.
My question is that I'm in second semester.
Yeah.
So before the next semester, there is an internship, summer internship.
Yeah.
So you talked about that list 5-10 companies and try to contact them. So it will help in internship session.
Yes, it will. It will. Go to LinkedIn. Look for in terms of keywords, look for people who are handling campus placements in the HR teams of organizations. It is not tough. It's not tough. You'll find those people and then start contacting them.
Only LinkedIn is the option, or any other option we can try?
Go to their websites. You can go to the company's website also. You can do that. Third, probably if you can get their phone numbers, direct phone numbers, landline you will get, but HR को normally वो pass on नहीं करते हैं.
So do you think that they give as much time to us?
It's tough. It's not going to be easy. But वो ये है कि ढीठ बन के पीछे पड़ना पड़ेगा.
Another question is that you are talking about that we are not satisfied with our first job. So there is a concept in HR, moonlighting. Moonlighting is a concept. So do you agree with the moonlighting?
It's not such a bad idea. Moonlighting is, I think it's not a bad idea.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any more questions? That'll be all, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks with your wonderful views. And you have very rightly said that when we are born, we don't have the choices. But now we have the choices, and we have to face the challenges, and we have to find opportunities for ourselves, which we can scale in. Now we'll move further for the technical session 1, where Parth Roy sir will discuss about breaching the skill talent gap, presentations and discussions. Before sir takes the podium, I would like to have a small introduction about the sir. Mr. Parth Roy is a qualified engineer with a post-graduation in management. He has 23 years of professional exposure, and throughout this tenure has undergone academic curriculum for various institutes, international repute. IIM and ENS is one of them. Sir drives his entrepreneurial initiative in the business consulting across industry segment. The core intervention focuses on advisory consulting on business process transformation to improve operational efficiency, capital productivity through smart negotiation and contracting to create a balance between business growth, delivery, efficiency, cost productivity and exposure on financial liabilities. Please welcome sir with huge round of applause.
इसको थोड़ा सा आपको कनेक्ट करना पड़ेगा.
Good morning, friends. Unfortunately, I tried to just modify a few of my presentations because I thought I was running short of time, but I felt I need to interact more with you guys than present on the board. We have heard Amit talking about how to prepare yourself. Today, I will take you through the journey what a corporate looks at you. It's absolutely the reflection of or the mirror image of what Amit was talking. What are the probable questions, what you need to ask, what you need to know. But before you need to know, you also need to inquire what this organization is looking at, how he is assessing your potentials. Please understand, I picked up this bridge because in corporate world where I worked for about 22 years, I just started my initiative about a year back, I have been recruiting people. And I always see when you look at a guy, he comes with a set of questions. And my only intention is to fumble him, stumble him, push him out of the window so that to just understand whether he is able to really come out in that crisis and talk some sense. Are his thought process absolutely aligned what he wants, or he somehow wants to get into the job, exactly what Amit told. I will quickly take you through this small bridge, how this bridge needs to be actually mapped. If you see, I just wanted to have this as various blocks. I have not named, there is no acronym, you need not to struggle your head, what does B stands for, what does R, nothing. I just made it while I was traveling from Gurgaon to this place. So just a pictorial depiction that yes, today we are going to talk about a bridge. Maybe we are somewhere here and this is the opportunity. How do I map myself? You heard, I will keep on posting you back onto what Amit was talking, because I picked up some things which are aligned to what I'm going to present also. Amit talked about unemployability. I will talk about employability. Okay? Now we know what is employment, and we should also know what is employability. What is the difference between employment and employability? Small example. I think Professor Singh told that in 1991, when the liberalization happened, opportunities opened. But if you see, from then to now, still unemployment is there. Unemployment was in 1990 because of lack of opportunity. Unemployment in 2013-2014 is only because of lack of employability, which means all these are something which is going to create that employability, all these attributes. I have few skill sets, right? How do I create it into a most useful way of helping that organization achieve his objective, right? Employability is capable to be employed now and fulfilling the employer's expectation. How much I know what this guy is going to ask, right? And what should be the enabler for this employability? It should be possessing the skill sets, right skill sets. It should be having absolutely the basic fundamental knowledge. We must understand whatever you may project, whatever you may do, but finally if your fundamentals are wrong, nobody is going to employ you. You may talk absolutely brilliant English. You may mesmerize him. You can put whatever acts onto your duo. It's not going to work. Finally, he is going to look at whether your fundamentals in life, forget about life, fundamentals on the subject for which he has come to your organization, you are absolutely clear, you can interpret or not. Understanding and the personal attribute. Employability, actually these all attributes improves the likelihood of being chosen for that organization. Please bear with me, I'll just rush these presentations because I want to interact more. I'll finish this so that we can start talking about it. This last statement is very important. There is much more to employability than just getting employed. I can be employed, but not to my potential. Right? That's not employability. I have actually force-fitted myself to get it somewhere a pedestal. What is employability? I have my attitude, I have my aptitude, I have my knowledge, I have my background, I have my upbringing. Am I able to exploit to the hilt and get the right job fit for all these attributes? That's what is employability. Am I able to project? Right? So there is a wide gap between the scope of employability versus eligibility for employment. Right? And we will slowly talk about how do we average these market skills towards the corporate competencies. That means what a corporate needs. What are those competencies a corporate is actually looking at young guys like you? You will be surprised, most of the growing organizations have this internal target of reducing the average age of the employee. They always try to infuse more of young blood because that's going to create creativity for the overall organization. The moment you are young, I think I read it somewhere, the biggest illiterate, I think today morning in Economic Times, the biggest illiterate is somebody who can't learn, who can't unlearn. And this becomes a problem once you attain an age of 40. After that you feel, oh hell yeah, I have done 15 years of very absolute brilliant work. I know more than all of you. So I create a screen and I don't learn. Right? So I think we will talk about these competencies now, what a corporate looks at. In the overall framework, what I thought, as young students, you all should have a strategy for fixing yourself into those slots. The most important, I heard Professor also talking, the most important is depth of fundamental on core academia. Whatever is your syllabus, whatever you have been taught, do you know the interpretation of all those English what you have taught? Or you have just mugged and you're just speaking like a parrot? How do I interpret on a business situation? This is what I used to take actually interviews on for your counseling sessions, where we used to empanel young boys for the management schools. And one of my questions was, if you select a subject, what are you going to do? Creating an extempore situation for him and trying to understand whether he is able to understand what he is talking or he is not. Right? So this is something which is so important when you are learning. It's not a history. I always say management is also an art. It's a creative. It's absolute like a fluid, like an amoeba. For different situation, the concept can be put differently, and yet you resolve the issue. All these fundamentals, you need to understand what is the business interpretation of this fundamental. I'll slowly take one or two examples because this is a HR forum. I will pick up few HR concepts on this. And how extempore are you? That means when a situation comes, are you able to actually apply those fundamentals and give a business decision? Finally, please understand, I have been talking to students from engineering as well as from management schools. I always feel engineering students are supposed to be doers. I am also a qualified engineer. We are supposed to be the doers. But who are the enablers? Is the manager. Right? So, my whole concept of existence is moving from being a doer to enabler. How will you enable? You have teamwork. You have interpretations. You have crisis management. This is what enabler does. In a colloquial language, you can say he is the fixer. He's the biggest fixer. Is the guy who is the manager. Because he is fixing every crisis to somehow achieve his business objective. Now, what are the three? I actually picked up somewhere from the internet, so it's not my genesis in terms of the below arrow. There are three S's to employability. First is, this is very core, asset. This is absolutely your core. Nobody can snatch from you. You have only acquired it, right? And if you have the zeal to unlearn and learn, it's your capability. Nobody is, please understand, nobody is going to spoon feed. This is, ये है suggestive questions, MBD में है, आप पढ़ लो, interview में चले जाओ, and you'll be selected. No, it's not going to happen, right? Second is job search skills. This is something I will immediately tag on to what Amit talked. I need to do research. I need to know where I need to go, right? Now at times, I'll tell you, I'll come to the last one, this one, job getting skills, appeal. I always used to tell in my organization, my last organization, I worked for Airtel for about 15 years. And I had a big team. I had about 185 people working for me, pan-India. And I used to say, when I come to your circle, don't show me what you want to show. You should be intelligent to show me what I want to see. I'll not say, but you have to be intelligent enough to understand what I want to see. Then only you will capture my imagination, you will capture my attention. Otherwise, मैं अपनी राम कहानी सुना के चले जाऊंगा, you are not interested. So how do I, my whole objective is to gain your attention. So in an interview, when you go, you have to be absolutely on the toes. absolutely on the toes to somehow check and analyze what this guy is really looking into me. The moment you identify, you start talking about that subject. Absolutely different subject. And he's excited because he feels, oh, this guy is talking absolutely what I am looking at, or he is talking my language. And that's where the resonance happens. Right? So I think this appeal is absolutely required. And the next slide I'll talk about how small you get a time slot for this appeal, but how important it is. This is practically where you are, the prospect. And this is where your employer is sitting. Right? Now, what is the influencer for that personality of the prospect? There are influencers, right? There are things which the moment you go, he starts creating a pen picture about you. When you start talking, he starts brushing few of his earlier imagination and says, okay fine, isko thoda sa aisa align kar deta hu, this is what I think looks like this guy is talking about. If you see these proportions, it's not exactly geometric proportions, but these are tentative proportion how it influences your background, from where you have come, your upbringing, your family. This influences maybe to the extent of about 20% of your overall personality. This learning phase, what has happened? This learning phase is something which typically what you start doing from your kindergarten to where you are now. You learn from environment, you learn from institutes, you learn from friends, you learn from while you are traveling, how intelligent you are to pick up those signals while you are walking on the road. That's what influences you on the learning phase. And this caters to approximately 60-65% of your overall personality. Correct? Because the moment you behave in a crisis, that's your exactly original self. And you can only behave well in a crisis if your exposure is to the hilt. You have picked up all those signals while doing your all this 20 years of existence, right from the age of 3 to 23. Correct? Finally, it's the projection. How I stand, how I talk, how I move, how am I connecting with you guys, right? And what do I have? I am now 46. I have hardly half an hour, just 30 minutes to create an impression on all of you. You see how important is this 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Same is for all of you. End of the day, what an individual wants is his ego to be satisfied. Please understand. I want somebody should say, okay fine, this guy talks well here. That excites me. Somebody should say, he looks smart. Now how much time do you have to do all this? You can't tell him, boss, you come, I'll show you a video since I was born. No. You have to demonstrate in that 20 minutes. So while you are sitting in that interview, please understand your 20 years of existence or 25 years of existence has to be marketed in 20 minutes. And the first 10 to 15 minutes is where everybody looks at you. He looks at your features. He looks whether your hand is trembling, your eyes are blinking, your throat is becoming dry, right? All this. You are not making eye contact. You are looking here and there, right? And he immediately starts creating a frame. This guy is confident, not confident, knows, fickle-minded, frugal-minded, whatever adjective you can put. I will talk about all those attributes what you need to have while projecting yourself. These are the demonstrative skills. In that 20 minutes, you have to be intelligent enough to maximize your demonstration on few of these skills. You may not be able to do all. But this I picked up because I used to be on the other side while interviewing for my function. I used to see whether he can collaborate. Gone are those days when people used to sit in a cubicle and do only his job. His success is based on his environment. Every individual employee of an organization is expected to be a fixer. Whatever you do, your interdependency on your surrounding is huge. So everybody looks at, can you collaborate? Right? Are you result oriented? If I give a focus, do you need an external drive, or you can pick up the baton and start running? Because you don't have multiple layers of supervisors. Organizations have become now more flatter. I will give Mr. X a job, I'll close my eyes, I expect as a manager that he should come back and say whether it is possible, not possible. If he says it's possible, he commits a timeline and he delivers. Beyond that, zero tolerance. Correct? Beyond that, what a manager says, if I am supposed to do your job, why do I need you? I don't need you. I'll give somebody else a salary. So, in this frame, now, when you go for an interview, you have not come across these experiences. Result oriented.